I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you improve your rigs, and we're starting right now. Welcome to another top tips video where I help you some of my best tips. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel and you want to receive these videos on a more regular basis, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification key, and you'll never miss another video again. So let's get started. 5 top tips on rigs. Tip 1. If you're using coated braid or nylon hook links or fluorocarbon hook links, to get the best out of that hook link, steam that hook link straight. After I've tied my hook link up, I'll put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, and I'll position the hook link once it's tied on the rig over the kettle, steaming it, making sure you don't burn your fingers on the steam that's coming out of the kettle. Steam it straight, hang it up. And there's various benefits to doing this, to steaming your hook link. You're going to cast so much better with that straight hook link, whether you're on a clip system, a helicopter system, inline lead. It's just going to cast better. It makes your rig anti-tangle. So when you're casting long distances, short distances, it creates an anti-tangle effect because it's a lot stiffer, it's a lot straighter, and it's less prone to tangle up on your leader or your leg core or your main line. Another benefit is when you actually cast that straight and steamed rig out, it's going to lay better. When that lead hits the floor, the rig's going to lay itself out a lot better, and the rig mechanics are going to work so much better when it's laid out. When a fish comes along, picks it up, rather than being in a tangled mess or a curved mess, it's going to lay out better, and the rig mechanics of that particular rig are going to catch you more fish. Tip 2. I see people checking their hooks when they're tying their rigs up to check for the sharpness of the hook, because we all know a sharp hook will put more fish on the bank. But what I don't see, and a good tip that you should all be following, when you reel in to recast or you reel in where you're not hitting the exact spot that you want to hit, check that point again. So you're casting 4 or 5 times. Every time you reel it in, because that rig hasn't landed on the exact spot you want to, always check that point of that hook to see if it's burred over or not as sharp as when you first tied it. Tip 3. If you're on a day session or you haven't got your kettle with you, so you can't steam your hook link straight, and use your fingers to generate heat on that hook link. Be careful that you don't prick yourself with the hook, because you could have a nasty accident, but hold the rig and vigorously rub your fingers up and down the hook link, and that will put heat into the hook link, and that will straighten your hook link out nicely. Tip 4. When you're applying your putty to your rigs to keep it all nice and flat on the bottom when you're casting out, nice little tip that I learned from someone else many years ago is when you're putting the kettle on to steam your hook link straight, is to get your blob of putty and put it on top of the kettle. So after you steam the hook link, that putty, the heat from the kettle is going to make it a lot more pliable, and you're not going to mess about in the colder temperatures when it's freezing in the winter, when the putty you won't mould it round the hook link very well because it's too stiff. Put it on the kettle and it'll be pliable. You can break off the exact amount that you want, and it'll be able to mould it around your hook link, or on, if you're using it for a pop-up, you can mould it around the bottom of your hook, or any time that you need to use putty in your rigs. That's a great little tip that make it a lot more easier, especially when the colder weather hits. Tip 5. Now, we're always worried about our rigs tangling when we cast out. Now, steaming them straight is a great way to make it very anti-tangle. But there's a couple of other ways you can make your rig anti-tangle when you're casting it out. Number 1 is use a bit of PVA foam. Lick it, wrap it round the hook, trapping the hair in place. When you cast out, not only will they give you a visual indicator, but that will make the rig spin, and it's less likely to tangle. Also, apart from using foam, you can use a little PVA funnel web system, little bit of stick mix in there, thread that down your straight and steamed hook link, and that again will not only give you added attraction on the bottom around your hook bait, that will cause less tangles also. So when you cast out, you can be safe that your rig isn't tangled and it's lying on the bottom exactly the way it should be. But there's 5 of my top tips for rigs. I hope you like these type of videos. If there's a certain subject that you'd like me to cover, give my 5 top tips about, please in the comments section below, put your topics there and I'll cover a nice top tips for that particular subject. Don't forget, guys, if you like this type of videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon, and you'll never miss another video again. See you for the next video.